If you're always constantly walking on eggshells, doubting yourself, or feeling like you're always the one to blame in that relationship, well, this video is for you. Being with somebody that's manipulative doesn't always look toxic on the surface. Sometimes it's subtle. It sounds like, I was just joking. You're too sensitive. If you really loved me, you'd do this for me or that for me. This isn't just difficult communication. Y'all, it's emotional manipulation. And today, I'm gonna walk you through what it looks like, why it messes with your mind, and how to handle it without losing your peace or your sense of direction and self. Y'all, I'm Matt. I create calm, grounded videos to help people navigate emotional trauma, rebuild their confidence, and create healthier lives and relationships. So, if you've ever felt confused, gaslit, or drained by your partner, this isn't about being dramatic. It's about facing the truth. And the truth is, emotional manipulation can wound you deeper than what you realize it can. This kind of behavior isn't always loud. In fact, it often shows up as passive, subtle, or even sweet. Here's some common examples. So, guilt tripping you for having boundaries would be one. Blaming you for how they feel, twisting the narrative when you bring up an issue, using silent treatment to punish you. All those are. They act like the victim when they're confronted because manipulation creates an emotional fog. You start to second guess your own feelings. You feel guilty for speaking up, and over time you shrink. Does that sound like you? If so, tune in. Why it's so hard to see? Here's the hard truth. When somebody controls you emotionally, they don't do it all at once. They do it in small incremental steps. They might start by love bombing you, giving you compliments, attention, gifts, all that good stuff. Then once they have you emotionally hooked, they begin to pull the strings. And by the time you feel, like they're in control, you're already too deep. Because manipulators are masters at blending charm with control. They want you to question yourself, not them. And that's how they stay in power. Let me tell you about somebody I worked with one time. Let's call her Jennifer. So Jennifer was dating somebody that seemed amazing at first, thoughtful, supportive, protective, all the good stuff. But over time, things kind of shifted. He started making backhanded comments about her friends. He questioned why she needed alone time. He accused her for not loving him enough when really she set healthy boundaries. But every time she brought it up, he twisted back on her. You're just being dramatic. Like, why do you always attack me? You're lucky I put up with this. And the worst part, she kind of started believing him. So let's talk for a second about what manipulation actually does to you. So being with a partner like that does long-term damage to your mental and emotional health. You're going to lose confidence in your judgment. You'll feel responsible for their emotions, like you need to be keeping them up emotionally. You start to believe you're the problem. You stay quiet just to keep the peace. You accept that behavior that you would never tolerate in a friend or a family member. So it's not just unhealthy, it's traumatic. And it leaves you feeling drained and anxious and emotionally unsafe. So here comes the good part. We're going to talk about how to handle it without losing yourself. Let's talk solutions here. If you're in a manipulative relationship, here's how to start protecting your mind, your boundaries, and your identity. Number one, we're going to name it without excusing it. We're going to stop calling it a rough patch or just their personality. Call it what it is. It's manipulation. It doesn't mean they're evil. It just means their behavior is damaging. Step two, stop over-explaining manipulative people because they're going to feed off your emotions. When you explain, justify, or apologize constantly, they're going to use those words against you. Instead, try phrases like, I don't agree and I'm not going to argue about it. This conversation isn't respectful. I'm stepping away. And step three, hold boundaries without guilt. You don't need permission to protect your peace. If your boundary makes them angry, that says more about their control than your limits. So number four, we're going to track the pattern. We're going to start journaling. We're going to journal what happened. So manipulation thrives in confusion. When you write it down, that pattern becomes clear and easier to understand. You could say something like, he blames me every time I bring up a need, or she shut down and ignores me after every disagreement. Number 5, get outside support. Talk to somebody safe, a coach, a therapist, a trusted friend. Isolation will kind of keep you stuck, but that support's going to give you some clarity. You don't have to figure it all out alone. Number 6, should you stay or leave? Not every manipulative relationship needs to end, but every manipulative pattern needs to be confronted. So ask yourself, are they open to feedback? Do they take responsibility for their actions? Are they willing to grow constantly, not just after a blow up? If the answer is no, then maybe it's time to consider stepping away from that relationship. Not out of hate, but out of self-respect. Number 7, you deserve safe love. Love should never feel like a negotiation or dignity. You are not made to be controlled. You're made to be loved, respected, and heard. If somebody needs to twist your mind to keep your heart, that's not love, that's manipulation. And you don't have to carry that weight any longer. And if this helped you feel seen or understood or empowered, hit that like button. Subscribe for more content that's going to help you heal, grow, and walk in truth. Because here is the truth. You're not broken. You're just waking up. I'll walk with you through it every step of the way.